Sadness often arrives quietly, settling deep within the mind and slowly changing the way life feels. Colors seem duller, motivation weakens, and emotional energy fades over time. What once brought excitement begins feeling distant, as sadness silently affects thoughts, emotions, and the ability to feel connected to the present moment fully. Sadness is often connected to loss, disappointment, loneliness, or emotional exhaustion that remains unresolved inside the mind. Painful experiences continue influencing emotions long after events have ended. When these emotions remain unexpressed or ignored, sadness deepens, creating emotional heaviness that quietly follows daily life and personal relationships. The mind often withdraws during sadness, creating emotional isolation from people and experiences. Conversations feel difficult, energy feels limited, and connection becomes emotionally exhausting. This isolation strengthens sadness because the mind remains trapped alone with painful thoughts, without emotional support, understanding, or healthy emotional release. Through connection and communication, sadness grows heavier when the mind constantly replays painful memories and negative thoughts. Overthinking turns temporary emotions into ongoing emotional suffering by giving constant attention to loss, regret, and disappointment. The more the mind lives inside these repeated thoughts, the harder it becomes to experience emotional relief or inner calmness. Healing sadness begins when emotions are acknowledged instead of hidden or suppressed. The mind becomes lighter when emotional pain is faced honestly rather than avoided through distraction or denial. Awareness allows sadness to move through the mind naturally instead of remaining trapped inside unresolved emotional tension and inner silence. Sadness often pulls the mind into the past or into imagined hopeless futures. Returning attention to the present moment weakens emotional overwhelm gradually. Small experiences, meaningful routines, and moments of awareness help reconnect the mind with life. Reducing the emotional distance sadness quietly creates over time. The mind heals when emotions are allowed to move freely instead of being constantly controlled or hidden. Crying, reflection, honest conversations, and emotional expression release internal pressure that sadness silently builds. Emotional release does not create weakness. It creates space for healing, understanding, and emotional recovery within the mind. Sadness often destroys hope by making the future feel emotionally empty or meaningless. Healing requires slowly rebuilding belief that peace and happiness can return again. Even small moments of progress remind the mind that painful emotions are temporary experiences, not permanent emotional identities or unchangeable realities. Human connection plays a powerful role in reducing sadness. Support, understanding, and emotional honesty help the mind feel less alone in its pain. Choosing connection instead of emotional isolation weakens sadness over time, creating warmth, trust, and emotional stability that slowly restore inner strength and emotional balance. Getting rid of sadness does not mean never feeling pain again. It means learning how to move through emotional darkness without remaining trapped inside it forever. As awareness, healing, and connection grow stronger, sadness loses its control, allowing peace, hope, and emotional clarity to slowly return to the mind again. Sadness can be reduced through consistent emotional and mental habits. First, allow yourself to feel emotions honestly instead of suppressing them. Second, avoid isolation and stay connected with supportive people. Third, reduce overthinking by focusing on the present moment. Fourth, create healthy routines involving sleep, movement, and rest. Fifth, express emotions through conversation, writing, or reflection instead of holding everything inside. Sixth, practice gratitude and notice small positive moments each day. These habits slowly help the mind to recover emotional balance and inner peace. Over time, sadness becomes lighter, emotional strength returns, and the mind reconnects with hope, clarity, and meaningful connection again.